DJDUBL.
First up, excuse the grisliness. Yeah, obviously everybody's in lockdown at the moment, so I'm pretty sure you can understand why I haven't been to the barbers anytime recently. Yeah, excuse my appearance. First video I'm dropping in a while on YouTube. Obviously, not being able to get into London to sit down with artists has been a bit of a problem. The good thing is I've got access to my studio and I work alone here, so it's fine. We can get it in without breaking the rules. So this is the second one of the year. I did J Huss Big Conspiracy in January, but today I'm sitting down and listening through the Rated Legend album from Cadet. Sadly, in case you don't know, Cadet died just over a year ago in a car accident on the way to a show. But his cousin, who is Crept, the rapper, has put together a load of his work from the studio and put together this whole project. So we've got a whole album, posthumous album, I think is the right phrase for it. So it's 13 tracks. It's called The Rated Legend. Executive produced by Crept. 13 tracks. The Rated Legend album. So the first thing we'll do, check out the album cover. This right here is a collage of Cadet's face with loads of pictures of him in the background at different stages of his life. Let's give it a listen.
You spent your whole life in the field, and now you can't tell the fake from the real. You never had no one take the wheel. It's time that you let someone take the wheel.
I don't know if you can see that on my skin right now. It gave me goosebumps. Take the Wheel is the name of it. I couldn't find any details on who the producer on that one was. I did look it up, and there's also a girl featuring in the song. She does like the third verse, kind of like a bridge part of the song. Great voice. I didn't recognise her voice, and I might get in trouble for that because it might be somebody that I know. Well, a great way to start the album. It's not an aggressive song. It's definitely not a club song. Like it's just a very good intro song, which, knowing obviously what happened with Cadet and the fact that he's not with us now, puts a whole new spin on that being the intro to this album. This must have been a very difficult project to put together for Crept. I'd love to sit down and speak to him about putting this together. I'd probably be in tears if I had to put this project together with a song to begin like that. Crazy. The other thing worth mentioning, I don't know what to expect from this project. Obviously, he had his Commitment EP, the Commitment 2. There's deep songs in there. He's a lyricist. He can tell a story like no one else. But also he had big, heavy, hard-hitting grime records as well. Then there's tracks like Advice that you'll be aware of. He was literally so multifaceted. He was such a versatile guy. I'm not sure what the next song on the album is going to sound like. Looking at this whole track list, there could be club songs in there. They could be deep songs the whole way through. It could be storytelling songs. It could be grime. I have no idea. Which makes it quite exciting actually to get to listen to this. So let's get into track 2, Dope Boy, featuring Young Ads and Crept.
She say I'm a dope boy, cause I'm potent like a dope boy. She don't know I'm addicted.
Track 2. So, Cadet, Crept, Young Ads, Crept, obviously known for being a very dope rapper, very, very sick lyricist. Young Ads known for being the hook guy, one of the most popular guys in the UK right now. And Cadet, but the amazing thing is, even up against those two powers, Cadet held his own. Like, this is Cadet's song. You can really hear it's Cadet's song and the other guys featuring on it. One thing that's quite surprising, in Crept's verse, he slaps on a bit of auto-tune and does some singing. Which, I don't know, like, I'm not really a fan of Crept doing that. It sounds a bit weird to say, but Young Ads just does it. I'm used to Young Ads doing it. I'm used to hearing it. I guess because I'm not used to hearing Crept do that, it sounded a bit weird to me. But there you go, Dope Boy, track number 2. Still, I'm struggling to find the list of who produced what. I do know that Show and Proof produced for it, The Beat Freaks produced for it, Mr. Wonder produced for it, and Certified Bangers also produced. I'm just not sure which tunes they actually produced. I do know Beat Freaks obviously made advice with Dino, which is towards the end. Let's get into number 3. It's called Support Me.
Or you're meant to bring more shit to the table, like support me. Support me, look, support me. Support me, and when I'm weak, might need your hand.
It's something about hearing Cadet's voice. I keep getting goosebumps, man. It's crazy. Just hearing his voice again in new material. It's something about the fact that obviously a new Cadet and hearing his voice again on this is touching differently, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like this is sounding good, but it's very, very surreal. I don't want to criticize, really. I actually don't want to criticize, but it wouldn't be an honest review if I didn't. The bridge, I felt, was a bit too long. And if you want to look at the lyrics for the bridge there, that's the bridge. But there's 2 things we have to take into consideration. Yes, Cadet is an amazing lyricist, but he also had learned the process of turning lyricism and his talent into actual music, into songs. Because he was aware that having bars and bars and bars is an amazing thing, but you need songs, you need hooks, it needs a structure for it to actually become a good song rather than just straight bars. We also have to take into account that this is an album that's been put together after he's died. Some of these songs he might not have finished. So Crept and the other people involved in actually putting the project together, literally they might be, like this song for example, might have been too short to put as a song. So they've had to work with other stuff to build the bridge, which is why the bridge is extended in that way and it goes on maybe a bit longer than I feel that it should have done. But it might just be to actually make the song, give it some substance, giving it some length so it wasn't just like a short, tiny clip. Again, man, I've no idea who produced that particular record. I've been looking, I'm scouring the net to try and find the credits, the production credits for this album, and I'm actually not able to find them anywhere. So, that was Support Me. Track number 4, the second track on the album with a feature featuring Wretch Free 2. This is going to be interesting. But again, it could be a club banger. This could be a grime hit. Like, I have no idea what I'm about to hear. So this is great.
Still, so much money on my mind, this shit ain't real. Still got a girl on my line, these times are wasted.
Alright, so they're talking about how money doesn't make you real. That's part of Cadet's lyrics. Wretch has come in, and it sounds like this has been something that's recorded after, and he bars, and it sounds good. But then halfway through his verse, he drops the auto-tune on as well. I'm not sure what's happening here. Like, this isn't Wretch. Listen.
With the same old bills, still the real on me, still don't eat no meat, still want to freeze, school that CeeLo green, still, I still don't need no sleep, still won't be one these guys.
No. I'm sorry to say it, because I really genuinely didn't want to have anything negative to say about this album. I wanted to say 100% good things about it, but I got to keep it real. I got to keep it. Wretch shouldn't be doing auto-tune like this. Should he? Am I wrong for saying that? Let me hear the rest of it.
Through my grief, still, so your niggas in the field, yeah. You'll forever be rated under the legend list. God bless you.
I like how Wretch ended that. He's saying, my brother, you are not an underrated legend. You are on the legend list. God bless. I like how Wretch finished that. But I could have done with a whole Wretch verse, not auto-tune. And I didn't like the auto-tune. Anyway, the next track number 5, Trust 'Em. Mr. Wonder on production.
When I was growing up, always used to hear man say some funny shit like fuck bitches and get money and go talk to me, that shit was funny. I couldn't understand how you can call a girl bitch when you got a mother and a sister.
That's called Trust 'Em, produced by Mr. Wonder. Now I really am getting the impression that that song was put together from older lyrics. So I think what they did for the chorus is take certain lines from different parts of the verse and put it together in a way that they structured the chorus. So I'm not sure that Cadet actually made that chorus as such. I might be wrong, but it sounded like to me that that was a chorus that was put together to help again build a structure to the song. I liked it. I like that one. That reminded me of one of Cadet's first things that helped him to go viral and break through, called the Slut Freestyle. If you haven't heard it, make sure you check it out. It was one of the first things that really went viral for Cadet. He did a freestyle at a radio station telling a story basically, and yes, it's called the Slut Freestyle. That, trust them, I got that same feeling listening to that same kind of vibe. Yeah, it was good. I liked it. I liked it. Next one featuring Chip is called Gimme Space.
Waves, got your 2 waves, got your big back sit on my waist. Stand still, but your body still shake. Round 2, come on, baby, just wait.
Yeah, that tune was hard. Definitely Chip recorded his after Cadet had died, because he mentions, I hope Cadet's got a big batty girl in heaven. Good up-tempo beat. And this one as well, like the chorus, felt like the chorus was made by Cadet. It didn't feel like on some of the others where the song had been cut and spliced together to make a chorus. This one definitely actually felt like Cadet might have written that as a chorus. But yeah, I like it, man. Some dope wordplay in there as well. Chip did the bits also, like his feature on there didn't sound out of place. It didn't sound like Chip out-rapped him. And people know Chip is a rapper that out-raps other rappers. And Cadet just held his own. Cadet and Chip, they sounded comfortable together on the track. It didn't sound like a weird feature. Everything about that was good, man. Let's get on to the next one. This one featuring Swarmz, who's doing an absolute madness in isolation right now. His IG Live is going off. Crazy things. Called Rolly. I do know this tune already.
I got the rollie on my wrist and it's glistening. I don't think that they're listening. Big freaks.
I would love to have heard more of Cadet on that. It was produced by Beat Freaks. They do some amazing work, and obviously Swarmz on the feature as well. It sounded more like a Swarmz song featuring Cadet, but obviously we know the reason for this. Like, there was only so much material that Cadet had recorded and actually finished. So I'm guessing, unfortunately, he only actually recorded one verse for this song, and the rest was Swarmz. Still a great record. I do like the song. That's one that I'm most likely to be playing out in the clubs when they reopen, of course. The production of that sounded good. Cadet sounded dope on that. I just would have liked to hear more from him on that track, but obviously, like I say, we know why that's not possible, sadly. Track number 8 is called Do What I Like, features Tion Wayne. Let's jump on this one. Ooh. Bit of steel drums in there. Love some steel drums. Yeah, sick. I like that one. Tion Wayne on the feature. Thing I didn't like was, again, there was a section in there fully auto-tuned up right at the start of Tion Wayne's verse. Now, I'm not sure if it was Tion or if it was Cadet. I'm pretty sure that it was Tion Wayne on the auto-tune, but it may have actually been Cadet. Didn't really like that bit just before Tion Wayne's verse. If it was Cadet, that may have been something that he had been experimenting with in studio sessions before he passed. Like I said before, he's a very versatile guy, so he might have just been trying different things. I personally feel that he may have left that bit out. I don't feel that that fits for the song really, but the rest of the song is sick. And again, the chorus, I keep focusing on these choruses because I'm trying to figure out which ones were written as choruses and which ones were kind of structured together after. I feel like this one definitely was written and put together by Cadet. And I like it. It's a very catchy chorus, very decent hook. Good song. Tion does his bits as well. Another one, he says, rest in peace, man, Cadet, Cadet at the end of his verse. So it shows that he was put onto this song after Cadet passed. But again, we know because Cadet would have only recorded a certain amount of stuff before he died, he may not have had enough to put all of these songs together. I like the fact that they've roped in other artists, but not only that, these are artists that Cadet would have worked with or had worked with already. So it's not even randomly bringing people in. It feels like the features had been well thought out and not just kind of chucked in there for the sake of chucking them in. So the next song on the album is called Gang Gang. This is a tune that dropped last year. I know it was fully recorded by Cadet. They even shot a video for it, which was put out sometime around August, I think, August, September time. If you get a moment, go and check the video out, because I feel like this right here is one of the most powerful songs on the album so far. I haven't heard the ones after it, but I'm going to just put it out there and say this is probably going to be the most powerful song from the album. Because if you watch the video, and you will be able to see exactly why I say it. The way the video was executed as well was perfect. Like, they couldn't have done it any better if they tried. Cadet's in the video, which I'm really glad that he actually was able to do that. I hope that he was able to see the finished video, because I know for a fact he would have been extremely happy with how it turned out. But yeah, Gang Gang, another incredible song. Not a club song, probably not suitable for the radio either, but it's definitely one of those songs that is going to live long on YouTube because of the way that the video was done. So go and check out the video while you're listening to the album. It's definitely worth watching that while you're listening to the song. I think that's probably the closest thing we're getting to a love song on the album, but this is something that Cadet did very well. As I've said before, he's a very versatile artist, but he can do a song like Gang Gang, where it's hard and it's a very aggressive, violent song, and then he can do something like Speechless straight after, and he just still sounds at home on both records. Like, I love the fact that he was able to do that. So yeah, Speechless is a great record. No idea who produced it though. I will come with a list in the description. If I find out who produced all of these songs that I don't know, I will find out and put them in the list. Track number 11, Damages.
Saying I remind you of your ex-boyfriends, but girl, I ain't none of them. I don't understand why you move so shook, treat me like I'm one of them.
Now, listen, I've been, I've basically made it out throughout the whole album that I've been completely against auto-tune. So as a disclaimer, I'm not completely against auto-tune. I just find it weird when certain artists use it when they don't need to. This one was unexpected, I'm not gonna lie. At first I actually questioned if it was Cadet. So the majority of the song is Cadet singing, but with the auto-tune on. And really and truthfully, it sounds like it could have been Crept singing. So I had to actually double check that. Just an unexpected one, to be honest. I didn't really expect it. But I will say, out of all the songs I've heard on the album with the auto-tune, this is definitely the favourite one. And this, it didn't sound like it shouldn't have been there. So again, this is another good example of how Cadet can be so versatile as an artist. I didn't expect to hear this one on there. So that was Damages.
Bro, I never completely understood what happened and started to believe this was all God's pattern. The last time we was together, you offered me a drink. I declined. Oh, how I wish I could rewind.
So track number 12, I just listened to it and it was called The Convoy by a spoken word artist called Talixia and Nico. It's a spoken word track, it's not a song, there's no singing, there's no rapping, there's just a very simple piano in the background. And Talixia and Nico doing a poem over the top to Cadet. She mentions about how he went from being an underrated legend to being a rated legend overnight. It's just very sad that it took for him to die for that to happen. So this track, yeah, in particular is proper nice. It was really nice to listen to. One thing I would say about it is it would have been nicer to hear it earlier on in the album, because this is towards the end now. There's only one song after this. So it would have been nicer to hear it kind of around the middle. But with that said, in an ideal world, there would be an outro from Cadet. And obviously, given the circumstances of the album, I imagine he didn't record an outro. Like there probably isn't any kind of outro or any deep records or any way of really finishing the album with Cadet, because the material must just not be there. We know he recorded some stuff. There's only going to be a certain amount of that. We're very limited with what we can put in the album. It's the saddest thing about this whole project. So moving on to the last track, it's a track that I know extremely well, produced by Beat Freaks, featuring Dino. Undoubtedly Cadet's biggest song to date, and one that even today still sets off the clubs. You can't take away from the fact that a lot of that is down to Dino's contribution to the song, but the two of them work so well together. It's just an amazing balance, and it's like the big brother, little brother kind of banter that's there. Really is one of my favourite Cadet songs, even though I've heard it 400 million times. I can't ever get bored of it. So this is Advice, finishing up the album with the last one.
If you ain't gonna love her forever, then don't even sweat her.
So there you have it, that wraps up Cadet Rated Legend album. I think that's an incredible album. I'm actually going to go back and listen to the first track again and again and again, because the feeling that I got from that song set me up for the whole album. Like, I was really excited to listen through it. Shouts to Krept, he's the executive producer on that. And yeah, I think given with what he had to work with, I think he did an amazing job. Big ups to everybody that was involved in the project. One thing I will say as well, when rappers get involved in certain projects, especially as Krept is such a prominent rapper in the UK scene, I'm glad that it didn't become the Krept show, if that makes any sense. It could have been filled with interludes and skits. The outro could have been Krept talking about Cadet's progression, and even the progression of the Cadet brand after he had died and how everybody rates him now. That could have so easily been there without sounding out of place, but I'm glad that Krept didn't take it down that route. He only featured on the album once, which makes sense because they were artists in their own right, but they did music together as well. Being cousins, they did. Check out the series Letter to Krept and Letter to Cadet. They had a little back and forth. They've got music together. It makes perfect sense for Krept to be on the album, but like I say, he didn't turn it into the Krept show. Like, he kept it really about Cadet. The features were from people that Cadet was working with. The producers were all people Cadet was working with. I really like that project. The saddest thing about it is Cadet was never going to hear the results of this. But yeah, without a doubt, man, this is an incredible album. And I think at the end of the year, when I look back and see the albums that were released this year, I think this is definitely, without a doubt, I can tell you already, this is going to 100% be in my top 5. Without a doubt, man. Like, the feeling I got listening through this album, not much music does that to me. So yeah, this was good. Rated Legend album by Cadet. It's out right now. It's available on CD. Check it out on Spotify. Stream it. Go support the album, man. How and where you can. Post it on your social media, etc., etc. What a great album. What a great album. Congratulations to everybody involved, man. And of course, rest in peace, Cadet. This is DJDUBLTV. I do this, and while I'm in lockdown, I'm going to be doing more album reviews. We've got some other content coming as well to the channel. So if you haven't already, push that subscribe button. It's on one of the sides, I can't remember which. Push the subscribe button, join the family. We're very nearly at 10,000 subscribers. That's where I want to be before the end of the lockdown in the UK, past the 10,000 mark. So yeah, if you like this, let me know in the comments as well. Oh, another thing you can let me know in the comments, if there's any other projects you want me to do a review on, just chuck it in the comments, let me know. I've got nothing but time, so I'm going to sit here and start churning out reviews for you lot. Yeah, check out the Rated Legend album. It's incredible. DJDUBLTV.